In September 2023, when Ireland experienced its largest cocaine bust aboard the cargo ship MV Matthew, it sparked a comprehensive law enforcement investigation. Following the interception, which uncovered 2.25 tons of cocaine, Gardaí arrested 9 individuals and questioned all 25 crew members. The investigation soon linked the cocaine ship to the Kinahan Cartel and the Scottish Mafia. However, the connection between these European kingpins runs deeper than just this incident. Some might even dub the Kinahan Cartel the Irish-Scottish Mafia, and that's not without reason. In this video, we'll delve into the details of this dark alliance. For the past 20 years, Christy Kinahan, along with his sons Daniel and Christopher Jr., and a substantial group of armed individuals, have significantly expanded their criminal enterprises well beyond their hometown of Dublin. Presently, their influence extends to a huge portion of Europe's cocaine imports, alongside operations involving arms smuggling, cybercrime, extortion, and money laundering. Their client base includes Mexican cartels, Asian jihadists, and more recently, Iran's intelligence services, dealing in military technology and aircraft. They've solidified their reputation as the leading brokers in the underworld, connecting suppliers in South America with buyers in Europe. Their approach mirrors the methods used in the intercepted cocaine shipment off the Cork coast. The Kinahans facilitated the wholesale drug shipment Colombian drug cartel, El Clan del Golfo, while suspicions point to the Scottish mob managing the European end of the operation. The Kinahan Cartel has strong links to organised crime in Scotland, with intriguing connections surfacing deeper upon investigation. For instance, Daniel Kinahan's close friend Sandra Vaughan, formerly the CEO of MTK Global, a boxing firm connected to Daniel, has a past with a Scottish drug dealer named Kevin Kelly. Kelly had partnered in a Marbella construction business with the Kinahans, but their dealings took a sinister twist with a foiled kidnapping plot in Spain. Meanwhile, the US Department of Treasury accuses the Kinahan gang of using a Glasgow-based vodka brand named Nero Drinks as a facade for laundering their drug profits. Led by Johnny Morrissey, with his wife Nicola as the primary shareholder, this enterprise appeared to be more complex than it seemed. Morrissey, deeply entrenched in organized crime and considered the Kinahans' main money man, was arrested in September 2022. Following his arrest, Spanish authorities dismantled Europe's largest Havala narco bank, known for its extensive money laundering operations. Morrissey is believed to have cleaned over 300 million euros of drug money every year, channeling it into cryptocurrencies. A closer look shows that the Kinahan Cartel has deeply ingrained itself in Scottish society to launder money stemming from their illicit transactions. In Glasgow, there exist 2 rival crime families, the Daniels and the Lyons, engaged in over 70 territorial conflicts, fiercely vying for dominance in Scotland's drug market. The Lyons family is renowned for engaging in diverse criminal activities, including drug trafficking, extortion, violence, and organized crime, emerging as one of the most dominant criminal forces in Scotland since the 1990s. The family initially began small, but rapidly expanded its influence across various territories, extending its reach to multiple countries. Presently, their operations span the United Kingdom, Spain, and even the United Arab Emirates. Over the years, they've been entangled in a long-standing and deadly feud with the Daniel family, another Glasgow-based criminal group. This feud, spanning more than 2 decades, has witnessed numerous shootings, some fatal, and others narrowly escaping death, firebombings, assaults involving knives and machetes, alongside the everyday operations of drug trafficking. The feud kicked off in the summer of 2001 after the Daniels clan lost a significant stash of cocaine from a Milton residence, which was later traded with the Lyons gang. Sensing a threat to their territory, the Lyons responded aggressively, sparking a conflict that reshaped the crime landscape in the region. In December 2006, a highly dramatic event known as the Apple Row Motors ambush occurred in Lamb Hill, Glasgow. two individuals linked to the Daniels, Raymond Anderson and James MacDonald, targeted a garage owned by a Lyon family member. The confrontation was brief, yet violent, resulting in injuries to 3 men. One of them died, while 2 others, including future Lyons leader Stephen Lyons, barely survived. Anderson and MacDonald were eventually convicted and sent to prison. The turmoil continued with the targeted killing of a significant Daniels member, Kevin Carroll, nicknamed Gerbil. Carroll's ties to the Lyons stemmed from his school days when he was a victim of their bullying. This past pushed him closer to the Daniels, earning him the infamous moniker, Public Enemy Number 1. His notorious reputation preceded him. In 2010, while seated in a parked car at a supermarket, Carroll fell victim to a targeted attack. Masked gunmen arrived and fired shots into the back seat. Trapped in a 3-door Audi with locked doors, he lost his life instantly. The attack only lasted 25 seconds. Later, investigations identified one of the gunmen as William Peterson, a significant figure in the Lyons family who received a life sentence for the crime. The following period marked a pivotal moment for the Lyons gang. Stephen Lyons, surviving the 2006 shooting, sought refuge in Spain, reportedly forming connections with the Kinahan Cartel. This alliance breathed new life into the Lyons, strengthening their position in the territorial conflict and providing the Kinahans with a lucrative way to sell drugs in Scotland. Later, Lyons further solidified his ties with the Kinahans by relocating to Dubai. The Lyons gang notably grew more robust, cementing their influence. In 2016, a crucial shift occurred with the passing of Jamie, the leader of the Daniels family, due to cancer. This tilted the balance of power towards the Lyons, marked by a surge in violence in 2017, particularly the brutal assault on Stephen Bonzo Daniel. It was an ordinary weekday evening in May 2017 when crime boss Stephen Bonzo Daniel attended the Rangers vs Aberdeen match at Glasgow's Ibrox Stadium. Later, as the 39-year-old dad made his way home to Bishopbriggs, he noticed his Skoda Octavia was being tailed by an Audi S3 and a VW Golf. Fearing for his safety, Daniel went at breakneck speed to get away, but he was cornered near the M8 at Port Dundas. The pursuit ended in one of the most horrific acts of violence Glasgow had ever seen. Despite being viciously attacked in broad daylight and later given evidence during the trial, Bonzo astonishingly claimed to have no knowledge of the ongoing feud between the Daniel and Lyons families. This assertion emphasized that the feud would be fought on the streets rather than within the legal system. It underscored the entrenched rivalry between the two Glasgow crime families, significantly shaping Scotland's criminal landscape for decades. Their conflict is a vendetta marked by violent retaliation, which, much like the Kinahan-Hutch feud, has seen horrific violence. It has witnessed numerous shootings, firebombings, and assaults, alongside the everyday operations of drug trafficking. Far from an innocent bystander, Bonzo holds the reins as a clan boss of the ruthless Daniels, a prominent crime family in Scotland. Bonzo is a nephew of the late crime kingpin Jamie Daniel. His leading position placed a conspicuous target on his back for the rivaling Lyons family. After all, his demise would bring his criminal empire crashing down, enabling the Lyons to amass greater power in the void left behind. So it comes as no surprise that the Lyons wanted his head, making him their foremost target through any means necessary. Over the past years, the Lyons, under the leadership of Steve Lyons, have forged strong ties with the Kinahan Cartel, who supply cocaine to Scottish gangsters. Following a narrow survival from a shooting incident in 2006, Steve Lyons sought sanctuary in Spain, establishing a strategic partnership with the Kinahans. Therefore, this influential Irish syndicate is regarded as an ally in the ongoing conflict against the Daniels. In addition, Christy Kinahan Sr. is suspected to have had close links with William Patterson, who is serving a life sentence for the killing of Daniel's hitman, Kevin the Gerbil Carroll. Carroll was shot 13 times seated in a parked car at a busy supermarket in 2010. After the killing, Patterson fled to Spain but got caught in Madrid in 2014. During the feud, many lives have been lost on both sides. Years later, it would be Bonzo's turn. On an ordinary Wednesday night in 2017, disaster struck as he drove through Milton, Glasgow. He was heading to his family home in Bishopbriggs when his car was abruptly rammed by a Volkswagen Golf. Fearing for his life, Bonzo tried to get away doing speeds of up to 100 miles an hour, but an Audi S3 joined the chase. With two cars tailing him, Bonzo raced through the Postle area, desperate to shake off his pursuers. Dramatic CCTV footage shows Bonzo's car being rammed during the 100-mile-an-hour midnight chase through the north of Glasgow. The chase continued onto Craighall Road in Port Dundas until it tragically ended with Bonzo crashing at the M8 on-ramp after being hit again by the Audi. When Bonzo found himself cornered, all hell broke loose and he was subjected to a gruesome attack. The occupants of the Audi relentlessly butchered his face using a machete, cleaver, and hammer, strike after strike, causing severe injuries. Bonzo was left for dead. When police arrived at the scene, his injuries were so bad that they thought he'd been shot in the face. He was rushed to the nearby Glasgow Royal Infirmary, where doctors battled to save his life and repair the horrific wounds to his face. It was later revealed that Daniel's survival might only have been due to the attack occurring close to a hospital and a top-class surgeon happening to be on duty that night. Bonzo underwent hours and hours of surgery in an attempt to reconstruct his face and remained in the hospital for weeks. The attack left him scarred for life. After being discharged from hospital, Bonzo's home was under continuous police protection to prevent any further attempts on his life. He claimed he couldn't remember being attacked himself, but could only recall his car hitting a pole. The Audi S3 used during the chase was later dumped and set ablaze in an attempt to eliminate any traces of evidence. However, the blood-stained machete used in the assault had been left behind on the rear seat. Subsequently, investigators came across callous WhatsApp messages regarding the attempted murder. They were clearly posted by the content attackers just a few hours after the incident. Additional images included the suspected cleaver used in the assault, seen on the scorched Audi's back seat. In the course of the investigation, it emerged that the attackers had installed a tracking device on Bonzo's Skoda while he was at Ibrox Stadium the previous evening, allowing him to be traced to the Milton area of the city. The specific device was the first type of its kind to be used in Scotland and had been sourced from a company based in Manchester. It served as pivotal evidence pinpointing those responsible, as it ultimately resulted in 6 men being connected to the attack. Detectives were able to identify the company that had manufactured the trackers. Those 6, later dubbed the Cleaver Gang, were reportedly associated with the Lions. They were part of a wave of violence that erupted after the shooting of Lyons associate Ross Monaghan in 2017, who was once the main suspect in the killing of Kevin Gerbil Carroll, but acquitted due to lack of evidence. Bonzo's attempted hit marked the climax of a sequence of 5 assaults occurring within a 15-month period. 5 men associated with the Daniel family were ambushed in similar attacks, with Bonzo being the main target. All of the targets have been monitored through the use of tracking devices. The 6 members of the Cleaver Gang faced trial at the High Court in Glasgow in January 2019, charged with multiple attempted murder allegations. According to a judge, their intention was to turn Glasgow into a war zone. Security measures were stringent during the proceedings, featuring armed police guarding the premises and thorough searches of individuals entering. A police escort accompanied the prison van transporting the 6 accused, ensuring their safe transit to and from the court on a daily basis. The jury was told that the attacks were part of an enduring feud between 2 rivaling criminal families in Glasgow, the Lyons and the Daniel families. According to reports, the defendants, all Lyons associates, were targeting individuals associated with the Daniel family. However, Bonzo told a different story. He insisted he had no enemies before the attack and denied any animosity between him and the Lyons. It was clear that both the Lyons and Daniels preferred to carry out their open justice themselves with bloodshed. Additionally, Bonzo rejected allegations of his family's involvement in organized crime. The 6 men, Brian Ferguson, Andrew Gallagher, Robert Pickett, John Hardy, Andrew Sinclair, and Peter Bain, were found guilty of the conspiracy to commit murder after a 14-week trial. The proceedings are said to have cost taxpayers £6 million. The following month, all the men were jailed for the attacks on Daniel and the 4 other men. They received a total of 104 years in prison. Despite law enforcement launching Operation Engagement to crack down on these rival clans, the feud persisted, leading to more deaths, arson incidents, and assaults. On the other front, the decryption of EncroChat's secured servers played a vital role in disrupting criminal operations. One significant instance involved Glasgow's drug kingpin Darren Collin, known as Big Papa, who held considerable respect among influential individuals in Costa del Sol, Dubai, and Dublin. He had strong connections with both the Lyons gang and the Kinahan Cartel. Big Papa's methods in Scotland garnered admiration even from the top tiers of these criminal organizations. However, the drug dealer got jailed for 8 years after police cracked an encrypted phone linking him to £1.3 million worth of heroin and cocaine and a substantial amount of cash. The link between Scotland and the Kinahan Cartel was further reinforced through Robert Kelby, associated with the Lyons gang, who played a key role in setting up a gym in the Canary Islands connected to the Kinahans. Kelby, surviving 3 assassination attempts, often appears alongside Tyson Fury, who of course is also connected to Daniel Kinahan. It's widely acknowledged that the Kinahans and the Lyons collaborated closely, boosting their illegal earnings through a series of violent acts in Scotland. However, following the placement of the Irish mob on the US Most Wanted list, the Kinahans have distanced themselves from many affiliates, including the Lyons, which could leave the latter vulnerable. With a $15 million bounty hanging over the Kinahan Cartel and increased pressure, focus has turned to Scotland's underworld. Glasgow already holds the unsettling record for the highest number of drug-related deaths in Europe. The Lyons gang's ongoing feud with the Daniels clan has turned Glasgow into a hub for criminal activity, compounding the issue. If the Kinahan Cartel stops the supply of high-quality narcotics to the Lyons, Scotland's criminal landscape could spiral further into chaos. That was it for today's video. What are your thoughts on today's topic? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see our next videos.